He had been called the nation's ultimate prison, an island fortress of iron bars, blustering tides, and a reputation that kept the worst men behind its walls. For nearly 3 decades, it held America's most notorious convicts and boasted a security design meant to escape a world of legend. On a June night in 1962, 3 men began to test that legend. Frank Morris, brilliant, stubborn, and bored by years behind concrete, and brothers John and Clarence Anglin moved with a patience that looked like madness to onlookers. Months of secret work, a map of vents and corridors sketched in the mind rather than on paper, and a single dangerous impulse to vanish. They picked the hours when the island's watch would be thinnest and relied on skills learned in prison yards and workshops. They left a trick in their beds, lifelike heads made of plaster, paint, and real hair, tucked under blankets to fool officers making rounds. From behind cell walls, they bored and pried, using improvised drills and stolen parts to widen vents and slip into a service corridor no one expected them to enter. Above the quiet of the compound, they worked through nights, building more than hope, a crude raft stitched from more than 50 raincoats, paddles whittled from plywood, and an inflating bellows fashioned from inmate tools.
What?
When the morning wake-up came, the guards saw 3 heads in 3 beds and 3 empty bunks. A lockdown flared, boats and planes combed the bay, dogs and men scoured the shoreline. In the days that followed, fragments turned up. A paddle found off Angel Island, life vests and rubber pieces washed ashore. Each washed-up item was both a clue and a taunt, proof that something had left the island and proof that the sea had its own verdict. The investigation spanned many years and decades. The FBI examined leads, intercepted tips and sighting reports. The files, bursting with interviews and analyses, ultimately concluded in a formal closure in 1979, with the Bureau believing the most probable outcome was the unforgiving bay. Yet the story stubbornly persisted. Rumors, supposed photographs, and even a hand-delivered letter, decades later claimed the men might have made land and started anew. Officials tested that letter and traced leads that never proved conclusive.